What's going on, guys? It's your boy J Pizzy, and as promised, 50 likes on the branded video with replays. I'm here to show you guys how my deck combos off, right? So let's have a discussion really quickly about the two different versions and what's the different cards between each one of them, right? So the deck that I showed last time in the replays focused mostly around branded and high spirits. Now, a lot of people think that not branded, but fusion deployment is way better than branded and high spirits. So we're going to run through the combos today. I'm going to show you the branded and high spirits combos. Obviously, you know, the fusion deployment version is still out there. I can show you guys that version as well. I've just had more success with this version, but here is the fusion deployment version. If you guys want to run this one, you can run this one. I'll be very honest, I have been struggling against Flo Wanderese has become an extremely difficult matchup for me with this deck, because I don't have the ability to fusion quickly into like Albion to then use Snow to flip their Emp face down. And Flo is a very hard matchup right now for Brandon. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's extremely difficult to beat Flo with this deck list, with either one actually, because, you know, if your Flo player pops off and they have everything set, they have dimension fissure set up, all that stuff, map set up, it's damn near impossible to beat them. But at the end of the day, you can still beat them. So I'm not going to go over this deck list today. If you guys want to see a video on this one, let me know. What we will be going over today is I'm going to show you a 2-card combo with branded and high spirits, and then a 3-card combo with branded and high spirits. And hope you guys enjoy, right? It's been your boy J Pizzy. Make sure to subscribe down below. We want to hit 1K subscribers, right? Yeah, and one more thing. Let me explain why Mysterion is in this deck list. Mysterion is so good against Tier. If you special summon Mysterion against Tier, you basically have won the duel. Because if they special summon their Kit Kalos back or their Root Kalos back, you could just banish it, right? Because the card says if a monster is special summoned based on its own effect, when it's special summoned to the field, you can banish that card. In fact, I'm going to show you guys a replay right now of that exact thing happening, and then we'll jump into the combos. Be right back. Alright, so here we go. We're up against Tier. Check this stuff out. He's going to go ahead and start dumping to the graveyard. He dumps all 3 of my Sorniers, which is crazy because Sornier is what I needed to make branded in high spirits even pop off, right? But it's whatever. He's going to go into Root Kalos, activate Tactics. He's going to try to draw 2 cards. We're just going to go ahead and ash that. So he ends on, I forgot what these 2 cards are, but I know one of them is Sulic and maybe the other one is Crime, right? So we go ahead and Imperm. So I guess it is Crime. He's just going to go ahead and negate my Imperm on his Root Kalos because he doesn't want me to stop him from being able to block my special summons. We're going to go ahead and activate Lubellion, add Juice Worm to hand because all my Sorniers are in the graveyard. I would have added Sornier. We draw into Brandon into high spirits, which is such a crazy draw, but since we have Retribution in graveyard, we could go ahead and grab Branded Fusion. We know that he's going to be able to negate. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just set up for next turn, really and truly. We're not too worried about what's currently happening. We just want to set up for next turn and make sure we have plays for next turns, right? So we go ahead, we get into Cartesia here. He's going to try to special summon, but I'm going to go ahead and banish that, and then he's going to Snow to special summon to the field. So Snow is on the field, and now Juice Worm is on the field. He's going to activate Snow to target my Cartesia, and then Cartesia is going to activate to special summon into Mysterion, dodging his Snow, right? So now his Snow is useless, and then Jewish Worm activates. This is so perfect. And then his Root Kalos comes back to the field, and there we go. Mysterion banishes his Root Kalos on the special summon back. Mysterion is so powerful. So usually if I have the ability to, I have Jewish Worm and I have Cartesia, I'll try to use the 2 of them in cohesion so that I can actually, when Jewish Worm goes to the graveyard, I can send their Kit Kalos, or I can their Root Kalos, or I can send their Kaleido Heart to the graveyard, and then when they special summon it back, Mysterion just banishes it, right? So coming down to the end of this duel here, we're going to be able to go into Albion, and then we go into Mary Jade from banishing our Titaniclad and Fallen of Albaz, and that's to show you how powerful Branded in High Spirits is, because we wouldn't have been able to go into Mary Jade if we didn't use Branded in High Spirits to send Titaniclad to the graveyard. And then since we sent Titaniclad to the graveyard, we were able to special summon Fallen of Albaz in the end phase and use Fallen of Albaz to special summon Albion to then use Titaniclad and a Fallen of Albaz in our grave to go into Mary Jade. So when you guys say that Fusion Deployment is better than Branded in High Spirits, this is why I say you guys sound crazy. Look at how much value that we got in this duel off of Branded in High Spirits. Branded in High Spirits gave me my Mary Jade. It gave me Albion on the field right now. It's the reason we were able to search Cartesia to begin with. So, like, what are we talking about here? Okay, all right. So, obviously, we win this duel. We're just going to flip Mysterion, and then we're going to special summon Lubellion just in case he has like some kind of magic thing that stops us from being able to kill him. So we just attack for him, 3,000, 25, 25. Mysterion is going to go for the final blow because Mysterion's the MVP. Let's jump straight into the combos, right? And make sure to like, comment, subscribe below. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, right? I'm just showing you guys one gameplay today, and I'm going to show you guys the 2 Branded in High Spirits combos that you can pull off with this deck. Let's go. Alright guys, so the first combo I'm going to show you guys today is Branded in High Spirits plus Lubellion. So we're going to go ahead and activate Lubellion. This is going to go ahead and allow us to search Sorneer from our deck to our hand. We're going to activate Branded in High Spirits, show our opponent our Sorneer, and then we're going to go ahead and dump Titaniclad to the graveyard. We're going to add our Albion from deck to our hand by sending Sorneer to the graveyard. Sorneer is going to activate to send Retribution from our deck to the graveyard. Albion is going to activate to allow us to dump our Branded Fusion to the graveyard, and this is how we get access to Branded Fusion. We activate Retribution to add Branded Fusion back to our hand. So this was the first step of the combo. If you had it the other way around, like let's say you had Branded Fusion in your hand already, you can go for Branded in red. It just makes the combo even stronger, okay? We draw into Sorneer as our second draw, which is crazy, but we're just going to ignore that Sorneer because this is what we're going to send to the graveyard, because whatever you draw off of Albion goes to the graveyard. We're going to go ahead and activate Branded Fusion, use and Fusion Summon into Lubellion using Tragedy and Fallen of Albaz from our deck. When Lubellion comes to the field, it's going to discard. We're going to discard the card that we just drew, which is our Sorneer, and Tragedy is going to activate. Now, the sad part about this combo is usually, well, with this hand, is usually we will set Branded Banishment at the end of the combo, but today, since we have Branded Banishment in our hand, we can go ahead and set Branded Banishment, and then in the end phase we'll just add whatever card to our hand to mimic the exact same scenario of what we would end with. So we're going to go ahead into Albion. Albion is going to special summon our Masquerade by sending our Tragedy and our Sorneer that we dumped earlier from our Branded in High Spirits. So now we have one Masquerade on field. Since we have Lubellion in the graveyard, we can send our Albion to the graveyard and special summon Lubellion to the field. This is going to give us access to Branded Regain. So we're just going Branded Lost, I'm sorry. And then we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Aluber. Aluber is going to go ahead and add Theater to our hand. We're going to go ahead and activate Theater. Use Theater to Fusion Summon into a second Masquerade by using Lubellion and Aluber. Branded and Lost now allows us to go for a search. Now you could go for the search of Cartesia. Why? Because at the end of the turn we are special summoning Fallen of Albaz to the field. Or you can go ahead and add Mercurier to be able to interrupt your opponent on their turn, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and add Mercurier. As I said before, I'm going to go ahead and set Banishment because Albion usually sets Banishment from our deck to the field, but since Banishment was already in our hand, I'm just going to add the card from our deck to our hand instead of setting it. So here's the final end board with just Branded in High Spirits plus Lubellion. You can also do this with Branded in High Spirits plus Sorneer, with just those two. The only difference is that you won't have access to Branded Lost because we set Branded Lost using Lubellion's effect. But you can still end up the same end board of Despia, Theater of the Branded, 2 Masquerades, and Branded Banishment. We're going to go ahead and end turn here and use the 2 effects in our graveyard. So Titaniclad is going to be able to special summon our Fallen of Albas, and then Albion is what would set our Branded Banishment to the field. But since I already have Branded Banishment on the field, I'm just going to go ahead and add Branded in red to my hand. So this is what your end board would look like, passing to your opponent. And on your opponent's turn, once they activate a card or special summon a monster, it doesn't matter. Let's see if he does special summon a monster here. He's thinking. He's going to activate more spell cards to burn him for 1200 each. I feel confident here in going for Banishment, so we're going to go ahead and use Banishment. Since Albion was special summoned correctly, we can special summon Albion to the field and use Fallen of Albas plus our Albion to go into a Marajade. Now, if you wanted to, since Theater is on the field, you can go into Lubellion to discard a card, but if you want to keep your card advantage up, I would suggest you just go into Marajade. So we use Albion and Fallen of Albas to go into our copy of Marajade. Now our Mercurier is now live. He's going to try to activate some more effects and burn for 600 plus 600, which is 1200. And then we can activate Branded Lost. Branded Lost is going to give us the ability, I feel like, searching Cartesia, right? So I usually search Cartesia on my second go around. It's just the best search in the deck in my opinion. Our opponent is going to go ahead and special summon. I'm just going to go ahead and dump and banish their monster that was special summoned to the field, okay? So he's going to go into battle and hit into my Marajade. Doesn't matter. We could just go ahead and activate Marajade's effect to pop his entire field, right? So this is what we're way past the combo lines at this point, right? Because you never know what happens at this point. But since we're here, we can special summon our Alibert to the field. All his monsters are going to get destroyed in the end phase. We can add Branded and High Spirits back to our hand. This is just so much advantage, guys. And then we can activate Albion to set our Branded in red at the end phase. But today we're going to go ahead and set Branded opening, right? And look at this end board. There's nothing our opponent can do here. We have so much card advantage. You literally have a whole bunch of cards from you draw it one time. So we only draw it one time, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in your hand, 2 cards on the field, 2 spell and traps on the field. Theater in case they get rid of your Aluber, because Aluber can special summon back if they deal with your Masquerade or your Marajade. Better yet, if they deal with your Marajade, because once your Aluber goes to the graveyard, you can special summon back your Marajade on your opponent's turn and activate its effect again. And they're also burning twice with Masquerade. So I feel like this is such a powerful combo, and I just wanted to share it with you guys, okay? So let's go to the next combo. Alright guys, so the next combo I want to show you guys is Branded and High Spirits plus Branded Fusion and any light or dark monster in your hand, okay? Unfortunately, the card that we have here is Albion, so I'm going to have to switch this combo up just a little bit just to show you guys exactly what we're supposed to do, okay? So we're going to go ahead and activate Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion, we're going to go for Tragedy and Fallen of Albas to go into Lubellion. Lubellion is going to discard our light or dark. It just happens to be Albion this time. The reason why I'm saying it happens to be Albion is because later on in the combo we do go search Albion, and with Albion we dump our other cards, okay? So because of that, we're not going to be able to dump our other cards because we have Albion on field right now, right? So we use Tragedy, we use our Albion to go into Masquerade. Those are going to shuffle back into the deck, and then now we could go ahead and normal summon Aluber and go add Branded in red to our hand. Remember, Branded and High Spirits is in our hand here. So we're going to use Branded and High Spirits, grab Fallen of Albas back to our hand, and then we can special summon our second Masquerade using these 2 cards here. So now we have double masquerade, so that's 1200 every activation our opponent does, and we have Fallen of Albas in hand. What does that mean? We could go ahead and activate Branded in High Spirits, show Fallen of Albas, dump Albion to be able to search in the end phase, and then go ahead and discard to add our Albion back to hand. Okay, so with Albion, this combo is so dope, right? This combo is fire with Albion. So Albion is going to go ahead and send our Retribution to graveyard. We're going to activate Retribution to add Branded in White back to Branded in Red back to our hand. So here it is, Branded in White coming back. And then Albion goes and draws a card. And it's so funny that we draw Branded Opening, because Branded Opening is the card that our Albion was going to set to the field. That is so hilarious. So we're just going to go ahead and set these two to the field. This is what the end board is supposed to look like. I'm just going to add one of my random branded cards from deck to my hand instead, right? So usually you would set Branded Opening off of your Albion instead, right? So but to keep the 3 cards in hand, because it was a two and a half card combo, but we ended with 1 extra card in our hand still. Okay, so here's our opponent. He's playing, right? What you could do here, you can activate Branded Opening. We have to discard 1 card in our hand. So we go ahead and we discard High Spirits, and you can summon either your Dramaturge or you can summon Aluber to give you extra, you know, extra juice on your other turn. But I'm just gonna go ahead and use Dramaturge. The reason why is because I feel like when I do Dramaturge, the combo just ends better because you can put Dramaturge on field. And then we can go ahead and activate Branded in Red when we're ready here. See, our opponent's gonna fusion summon. So we're gonna go ahead and activate Branded in Red. Target Fallen of Albas. Fallen of Albas comes back to our hand. And then we can special summon our other Lubellion using Dramaturge and Fallen of Albas. Here we go. Our opponent is going to go into his big gigantic monster, right? And then we can actually activate, discard another card from our hand, and then special summon Dramaturge back to the field. This combo is so fire. Okay, guys, and it was a 2.5 card combo. And then Fallen of Albas is going to activate. So let me just read this card's effect really quick. Unaffected by spells or trap effects, your opponent monsters cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. Okay, so it's not unaffected by monsters. So right here, you can go into Mara Jade. I don't see why not. And actually leave this Lubellion on field if you want to, and just shuffle back Fallen of Albas plus the Lubellion that's not banished. And then whatever monster your opponent has on the field, Dramaturge can activate to negate its effect. Once that's negated, yeah, there it goes. The effect is now negated. You can go ahead and dump your Albion to the graveyard and then banish whatever card they had, right? So now that you sent a card to the graveyard, you can add Branded in High Spirits back to your hand, and you can actually go ahead and set Albion back to the field, right? So again, guys, this combo is so insane. I love it so much. I try to tell people all the time that Branded in High Spirits is just the better card between Fusion Deployment and Branded in High Spirits, because look at what our end board was with just Branded in High Spirits, a Lido Dark Monster, and Branded Fusion, right? And I already showed you guys what our end board was with Branded in High Spirits plus Sorneer or any one of your Bystial monsters, right? Well, not any one of them. It has to be Sorneer or Lubellion, right? Because you can pull off the exact same combo with Lubellion, okay? So that was it, guys. You got double Masquerade. I showed you guys the double Masquerade combo with both of them, and I showed you guys this one where you could go into Dramaturge, Mara Jade, and double Masquerade, right? So let me see if I could show you guys the Fusion Deployment combos, and then we can compare and talk about it after. All right, thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. This one was a tough one to make. Again, guys, you can run the deck however you want to run it. This is just how I like to run it. I really love Branded in High Spirits. I think it adds so much value inside of the deck. A lot of people like Fusion Deployment. Do what you like the most, right? Do which one works ever best for you. Obviously here, guys, I changed out the Cold by the graves for the ashes, because I had ash in here before, but that's the only difference I think here in the deck. Other than that, it's the exact same deck list from what I was showing the gameplay for like three days ago. Oh, and Kit was the extra card that I added in Kit, and I added in 2 Cold by the Graves, and I just dropped the 2 ash. Right, that was the only change that I made, and I'm actually kind of regretting that. We maybe add back the get rid of the Cold by the Graves and just add back the ashes. Ash might work better in this meta. I don't know, it depends. It's all up to you guys, right? But I hope you guys enjoyed the 2 combos that I showed you guys. The 2 card High Spirits plus Sorinier combo, and then the 3 card High Spirits plus Branded Fusion plus any light or dark Albion, hopefully, right? Because if you do it with Albion, it's just so much more value. Okay, so stay blessed, stay highly favored, stay prosperous, stay healthy and wealthy. Have a good one. It's your boy Jay Pizzy signing out. Peace.